Welcome back to Eyes on Earth and Beyond, bringing you the latest news from around the world. For over a century, the Panama Canal has been a vital artery for global trade, connecting the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans and moving 6% of the world's commerce. But today, September 16, 2025, a severe drought, driven by climate change, has left the canal desperately short of water, crippling its operations. The canal's locks depend on fresh water from nearby lakes, but with rainfall at record lows, water levels have plummeted. The Panama Canal Authority has slashed daily transits, causing traffic to drop by nearly 30% in the past year. Ships now face weeks-long queues, creating a global supply chain bottleneck and driving up shipping costs. Companies are forced to pay premium fees or reroute around South America, passing these costs to consumers and fueling inflation worldwide. This crisis has exposed a dangerous vulnerability: the world's reliance on a single climate-sensitive choke point. As the canal's future grows uncertain, nations and corporations are urgently searching for alternatives. The spotlight now shifts north, to Nicaragua, a country with a centuries-old canal dream, suddenly thrust back into the global conversation. Could Nicaragua finally offer a solution to Panama's parched predicament? The vision of a Nicaraguan canal predates Panama's by centuries, inspired by the country's natural lakes and rivers. In the 1800s, Cornelius Vanderbilt's transit route across Nicaragua proved the path's viability, fueling dreams of a true interoceanic canal. The U.S. once favored Nicaragua, but a campaign highlighting volcanic risks and shrewd lobbying shifted focus to Panama. Even after Panama's canal opened in 1914, Nicaragua's dream endured, symbolizing national sovereignty and untapped potential. In the 1930s, revolutionary Augusto Sandino imagined a canal built by and for Latin Americans, not foreign powers. The idea resurfaced in 2013, when President Ortega granted a 50-year concession to the Chinese-backed HKND Group for a $50 billion canal. But the plan, which would have cut through Lake Chokepoints, sparked fierce environmental and social opposition. Financial opacity and the collapse of HKND's funding doomed the project, and in May 2024, the concession was officially revoked. Yet, the dream refuses to die. With Panama in crisis, Nicaragua's canal ambition is once again at the center of global attention. Is this the moment Nicaragua finally seizes its place in world trade? In late 2024, Nicaragua unveiled a bold new canal plan, this time with China as a central partner. The revised route, 445 kilometers long, links a new deepwater port at Bluefields on the Caribbean to Corinto on the Pacific, carefully avoiding Lake Chokepoints. Unlike the failed HKND venture, this project is backed by China's state-owned KMC Engineering, signaling serious financial and political muscle. The estimated $50 billion cost now seems more attainable with Beijing's support and strategic interests. The new route uses Lake Zolotlan, sidestepping the environmental controversy that doomed the previous plan. Nicaragua's diplomatic pivot from Taiwan to Beijing has unlocked a new era of cooperation, aligning the canal with China's Belt and Road ambitions. For both nations, the project is a chance to reshape global trade and the balance of power in the Americas. For Nicaragua, the canal represents a once-in-a-lifetime economic opportunity. The $50 billion investment dwarfs the nation's GDP, promising tens of thousands of jobs and a decade-long construction boom. Long-term transit tolls could generate steady revenue, especially from ultra-large ships that Panama can't accommodate. Special economic zones, new ports, and logistics hubs are planned to attract foreign investment and diversify the economy. The government sees the canal as a path to greater sovereignty, reducing dependence on Western aid and asserting control over its future. If successful, the project could lift millions out of poverty and transform Nicaragua into a critical node in global trade, but the promise comes with profound risks and challenges. Despite economic hopes, the canal's environmental and social costs loom large. The new route avoids Lake Chokepoints, but requires massive dredging of Lake Zolotlan, risking water pollution and ecosystem damage. Clearing a 445-kilometer corridor threatens forests and biodiversity, endangering unique species and fragmenting habitats. Displacement of rural and indigenous communities is inevitable, reviving memories of past land disputes and protests. Many fear the loss of cultural heritage and livelihoods, while government promises of fair compensation remain untested. Transparency is lacking. Details on financing, environmental safeguards, and agreements with China are mostly secret. Critics warn that without robust public consultation and independent oversight, the project could become an ecological and social disaster. For the canal to succeed, it must earn the trust of Nicaraguans and the world. Environmental stewardship and community rights must be at the heart of the plan. Otherwise, the canal risks repeating the mistakes of the past. The Nicaraguan Canal is now a flashpoint in the US-China rivalry. For China, it's a strategic coup, expanding the Belt and Road Initiative and securing a vital trade route outside US influence. For Washington, a Chinese-built canal in Central America challenges a century of US dominance and the Monroe Doctrine. The canal could give Beijing leverage over global shipping and soft power across Latin America. The US faces a dilemma: oppose the project and risk alienating the region, or engage and compete for influence. President Ortega has invited American investors, forcing the US to choose between participation or isolation. The canal could trigger a new era of competition, with both superpowers offering aid and investment to win allies. While this may benefit Nicaragua, it also risks turning Central America into a battleground for great power politics. The canal is more than infrastructure. It's a symbol of shifting global power. Its fate will shape the region's future for decades to come. The path to a Nicaraguan canal is fraught with risk. Financing remains uncertain. $50 billion is a staggering sum, and no detailed plan has been made public. The canal's success depends on convincing global shippers to abandon the established Panama route. Environmental dangers persist: massive excavation, potential chemical spills, and threats to water and wildlife. Without independent environmental assessments and safeguards, opposition from activists and investors could derail the project. Political risk is high. Ortega's government faces international criticism for authoritarianism, deterring Western partners. The memory of the failed HKND project lingers, fueling skepticism. Competition is fierce. Mexico's Isthmus Corridor, Colombia's rail proposals, and the US's own freight networks all vie for shipping traffic. Nicaragua must prove its canal is not just viable, but superior in cost, speed, and reliability. The stakes could not be higher. For the Nicaraguan canal to succeed, transparency and responsibility are essential. The government and Chinese partners must present clear, public plans for financing, construction, and operations. Environmental protection must be central. Independent impact assessments, public oversight, and world-class safeguards are non-negotiable. Displaced communities need fair compensation and new opportunities, with revenues invested in public goods like health and education. The canal's success should be measured by improvements in ordinary Nicaraguans' lives, not just shipping statistics. Diplomacy is key. The canal must remain open to all nations, not just a strategic asset for China. If Nicaragua can balance these demands, it could turn a centuries-old dream into a new global marvel. The world is watching. Will Nicaragua build a bridge to prosperity, or repeat the mistakes of the past? The answer will shape the future of global trade and the fate of a nation.